Look at that blue on the tail. Let that guy go. Oh, and he's off. Come on.
He's a thick snook.
Come on. Whoa. All right, so we have a fun trip. We're actually doing some camping and have a really long commute from the tent to the boat. Lindsay and I are gonna try to get after some trout. We have really tough conditions. We're on the Indian River Lagoon. Some giant trout are over here, but we have no wind and no clouds. Bright sunny day. This is gonna be a really tough bite. We're gonna do our best. We have some slam shadies, we have some Alabama leprechauns, and even some topwater, and we're gonna see if we can get some action. We'll record all of the fun and let you know how it goes. Yeah, home sweet home. There's the tent. We have our own little island. Nice little campfire on the point. Now time for some fishing. So the first spot I went to was a spot that I had placed a lot of tournament fish in, and we're going along, we saw this big boil. You can see there was a really big fish that spooked off. It was probably a big snook. So fished that for a bit, gave it probably 15-20 minutes, and really just not much activity was happening. Really didn't see much bait. So time to pick up and go on to spot number 2. Spot 1 wasn't good. Spot 2, we're pulling up to it and seeing a lot of dolphin. It's a good sign. A little bit of bait on this shoreline I saw. Let's see if we can get into some fish. Saw one really nice boil at the other place, but nothing good to strike. So fished that spot about 15-20 minutes, and same as before, we saw a little bit of signs of life, but really nothing good enough to really justify spending much time. We only had a little bit to fish, so time to pick up and go on to the next spot. All right, always remember, see some trash, time to pick it up. This can is floating over. Hopefully the wind doesn't take us too far away, and got it, got it. Leave it better than you found it. So this is a shallow cove that I fished a couple times over the years. It just kind of fit the descriptions on where I should have been fishing. And one thing I noticed is that a lot of the grass has died, which is really unfortunate. This was the first spot that really had any signs of grass. Oh, that bird just got one. That osprey just got a mullet or something. And the pelican's trying to steal it. No way, that white pelican's going to town. Let's see what he got. Oh, looks like a mullet. Yep, that's a mullet. That was crazy. I've never seen a white pelican do that before. So move to the deeper side of this cove, switch from the shallow run lure over to the Slam Shady 2.0 on a jig head, and this is where the strikes finally started happening. Oh, there we are. Got something, and we've got a little redfish.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool.
We're not getting picky today. This is like the 4th spot we've tried. Look how blue this tail is. I got a little micro red. Look at that blue on the tail. That is really cool. Slam Shady bailed us out of a skunk trip. Oh, another one. Oh, a trout. Now I got a little tiny trout just a couple of casts later. All right, we got ourselves a little nursery back here. So now we found the type of spot where these fish were holding. We really just covered the zone and really just covered it slowly. So instead of going fast, we really slowed down and make sure we covered every inch of this area. Ooh, there we are. Is it off?
You got off.
Oh, can you tell what it was?
No.
That was a good fish. We're getting some action. Finally stopped going to my old spots and went to the right type of spot for winter fishing. Yeah, solid trout there. That's more like it. Still not a giant one, but we'll take it. The drag pulling trout, gotta love that. They get a whole lot bigger than this over here, but this is a chunker. Ooh, hello. All right, there we are. Let that guy go. Oh, and he's off. Slam Shady back in good shape. Oh, there we are. Oh, good fish. Oh no, it's just it's a redfish that's hooked funny. Did I snag him?
Looks like it.
Might have somehow snagged a redfish. There we are, cool little red. Let them go. So shortly after releasing that redfish, we went back to the island, got a bite to eat. It was getting close to lunchtime, so hit the island up, relaxed, and then went back out later on toward the afternoon and fished these docks. This is a dock line that I fished a lot. I caught a lot of fish over there over the years, and same as before, where my old spot really just did not pan out. We didn't even have a strike, saw a little bit of life, but not much. And so then we went over to another little cove, a similar cove to where we caught the trout and redfish earlier. This one's a little bit shallower, and I was seeing a lot of mullet about 5 inches long, 5 to 6 inches. So I put on the Slam Shady Bomber on a weighted hook, and this is when I finally started getting some better bites. There we are.
Nice.
Coming right. Oh no, it got off. Ooh, that was a good fish too. Let's see if it hits again. Oh, it just spooked off right there. Dang, that was a big fish. When the next cove, very similar type of spot, this is when finally hooked in to a better fish. There we are. Ooh.
Oh my word.
Ooh, if this is a trout, this is a giant. I think it's a snook though. Oh yeah, it's a snook. They're on 5 pound test. Phone's going off. We got chaos going on over here. Yeah, thankfully I put a 20 pound leader on there, but it might not be enough for this guy. Just reeling in the bomber, and that thing came up and smacked it. Solid snook. Ah, that's awesome. Nice fish. Definitely a slot snook. That thing is just thick too. These East Coast snook are so much thicker. Ooh. That's not good. Better get away from these trees. I think I'm in the clear, but yeah, just 5 pound test. Oh no. Trying to get redfish and trout. We got some dinks. This actually will finish the slam too. That's cool. Trying to keep that line away from his, it's going through his mouth right now. I need him to get on the other side. Come on, other side, buddy. Whew. All right, I'm gonna get my hands on this guy. Come on, come on.
He is a thick snook.
Come on. Whoa. All right, there we are. The hook's good on that side. Come on, buddy. Nice. Got him by the tail. And we've got ourselves a solid snook. Nice fish. All right, got the troll motor down, reviving this thing. It's just hold on to my thumb for as long as it wants. The drag had to be pretty loose for that 5 pound line. And there it goes. We got the 20 pound. Yeah, that was close. Check that out, it's all frayed up.
Oh my gosh.
20 pound Dirty Deeks rig up to a 12 pound leader, up to 5 pound braid. That was cool. Shortly after that snook, my GoPro battery died, and Lindsay had a really nice trout that got off her next to the boat. But anyhow, we called it an evening shortly after that. But the big lesson I just wanted to highlight was how much better we did after I stopped going back to my old spots. So I was really excited. I hadn't fished there in a long time. I was really excited to go back to the old spots I used to do fish tournaments in. And that's where we struggled, because I was going back to this spot. I wasn't factoring in the season and the wind direction and what the weather was doing. And so once I finally got frustrated, say, okay, let's just, if I have never been here before, where would I go? And once I answered that, I basically just followed the game plans that we've been talking about the last couple of weeks to Insider Club members. As soon as I just followed that, that's when we started catching fish. That's when we started catching this trout and the redfish. And that also led us to the spot where that snook was. So just wanted to highlight that. It happens to us all, is that we have our spots that we've caught fish at before. It's our confidence spots. And that is not always going to be the best spot to go to. You really need to factor in the wind direction and the weather, and especially this season in the winter, just the changing of temperatures. If that's not factored in, the odds of success is really going to go down. And another thing I want to highlight is just how effective these little small reels with light line is. So a lot of the action, especially that bigger snook, that was a legit slot snook. It was caught on this 1,000 size reel and just 5 pound braid. And then I put the big bomber on there. This was just casting a mile. I was really targeting big trout. Big trout, it can be very spooky up in the shallows. And then so sure enough, that big snook hit this, and it was more than enough power to handle it. So 5 pound line, ended up having a little 20 pound leader at the end on a Dirty Deek setup. But that was it, and really just covering lures, the same exact lures that I've been using on the Gulf Coast work just as good on the East Coast. So same lure, same tackle, and the same types of spots. The biggest thing though was just factoring in the weather. Make sure you do that. And if you need help doing that, we have a course called Finding Spots Mastery, and it goes through the mechanics and lays the foundation on how to put it all together. How to factor in the tides, the weather, the season, and then look at a tide chart and know exactly where those fish are most likely going to be and at what time of the day are they most likely to feed. So very important. If you haven't yet gone through that, it's called the Finding Spots Mastery course, and that's part of the Insider Club. So link down below for that. Thank you so much for your time and watching. Any questions at all on this video, be happy to help. Leave a comment down below. And if you're new to Salt Strong, just know that we're the best online fishing club for inshore saltwater anglers, especially if you like going after redfish, sea trout, snook, and flounder. There's nothing else like it. We actually guarantee you'll be finding more fish every trip, you'll be saving money on your tackle, and you'll be meeting a ton of new fishing friends. To learn more, go to saltstrong.com. Otherwise, see you again soon.